Welcome to African Women in Decentralized Finance Faucet. In Africa, women play a critical role in driving social progress. They not only manage households, but also contribute significantly to economic activities, often in informal sectors. Despite their invaluable contributions, over 60% of women remain unbanked, facing obstacles in accessing financial tools and resources. Women are the custodians of One Health, a concept that recognizes the interconnectedness of human, animal, and environmental health. For a baby to be born healthy, the mother's well-being is pivotal. Financial empowerment becomes a catalyst for this well-being, enabling women to afford nutritious diets, access healthcare services, and create an environment conducive to a healthy pregnancy and upbringing. Empowering women financially is a crucial step in disease prevention. With resources at their disposal, women can invest in better animal health care, improved cooking facilities, and hygienic practices, reducing the risk of disease. Financially empowered women can also invest in better sanitation, cleaner water sources, and improved housing conditions. This not only enhances immediate living conditions, but also contributes to long-term environmental sustainability and community health. Financial empowerment opens doors to education for women and their children. With access to resources, women can ensure their children receive quality education, breaking generational cycles of poverty and fostering a more prosperous society. Join us every Tuesday for our Learn to Earn sessions, where we empower women through DeFi, providing them with the tools and knowledge to transform their financial futures. Empowering women, transforming communities. Together, we can make a difference. Join our Learn to Earn programs every Tuesday. Check our website. Welcome to African Women in Decentralized Finance Faucet. In Africa, women play a critical role in driving social progress. They not only manage households, but also contribute significantly to economic activities, often in informal sectors. Despite their invaluable contributions, over 60% of women remain unbanked, facing obstacles in accessing financial tools and resources. Women are the custodians of One Health, a concept that recognizes the interconnectedness of human, animal, and environmental health. For a baby to be born healthy, the mother's well-being is pivotal. Financial empowerment becomes a catalyst for this well-being, enabling women to afford nutritious diets, access healthcare services, and create an environment conducive to a healthy pregnancy and upbringing. Empowering women financially is a crucial step in disease prevention. With resources at their disposal, women can invest in better animal health care, improved cooking facilities, and hygienic practices, reducing the risk of disease. Financially empowered women can also invest in better sanitation, cleaner water sources, and improved housing conditions. This not only enhances immediate living conditions, but also contributes to long-term environmental sustainability and community health. Financial empowerment opens doors to education for women and their children. With access to resources, women can ensure their children receive quality education, breaking generational cycles of poverty and fostering a more prosperous society. Join us every Tuesday for our Learn to Earn sessions, where we empower women through DeFi, providing them with the tools and knowledge to transform their financial futures. Empowering women, transforming communities. Together, we can make a difference. Join our Learn to Earn programs every Tuesday. Check our website. Welcome to African Women in Decentralized Finance Faucet. In Africa, women play a critical role in driving social progress. They not only manage households, but also contribute significantly to economic activities, often in informal sectors. Despite their invaluable contributions, over 60% of women remain unbanked, facing obstacles in accessing financial tools and resources. Women are the custodians of One Health, a concept that recognizes the interconnectedness of human, animal, and environmental health. For a baby to be born healthy, the mother's well-being is pivotal. Financial empowerment becomes a catalyst for this well-being, enabling women to afford nutritious diets, access healthcare services, and create an environment conducive to a healthy pregnancy and upbringing. Empowering women financially is a crucial step in disease prevention. With resources at their disposal, women can invest in better animal health care, improved cooking facilities, and hygienic practices, reducing the risk of disease. Financially empowered women can also invest in better sanitation, cleaner water sources, and improved housing conditions. This not only enhances immediate living conditions, but also contributes to long-term environmental sustainability and community health. Financial empowerment opens doors to education for women and their children. With access to resources, women can ensure their children receive quality education, breaking generational cycles of poverty and fostering a more prosperous society. Join us every Tuesday for our Learn to Earn sessions, where we empower women through DeFi, providing them with the tools and knowledge to transform their financial futures. Empowering women, transforming communities. Together, we can make a difference. Join our Learn to Earn programs every Tuesday. Check our website. Welcome to African Women in Decentralized Finance Faucet. In Africa, women play a critical role in driving social progress. They not only manage households, but also contribute significantly to economic activities, often in informal sectors. Despite their invaluable contributions, over 60% of women remain unbanked, facing obstacles in accessing financial tools and resources. Women are the custodians of One Health, a concept that recognizes the interconnectedness of human, animal, and environmental health. For a baby to be born healthy, the mother's well-being is pivotal. Financial empowerment becomes a catalyst for this well-being, enabling women to afford nutritious diets, access healthcare services, and create an environment conducive to a healthy pregnancy and upbringing. Empowering women financially is a crucial step in disease prevention. With resources at their disposal, women can invest in better animal health care, improved cooking facilities, and hygienic practices, reducing the risk of disease. Financially empowered women can also invest in better sanitation, cleaner water sources, and improved housing conditions. This not only enhances immediate living conditions, but also contributes to long-term environmental sustainability and community health. Financial empowerment opens doors to education for women and their children. With access to resources, women can ensure their children receive quality education, breaking generational cycles of poverty and fostering a more prosperous society. Join us every Tuesday for our Learn to Earn sessions, where we empower women through DeFi, providing them with the tools and knowledge to transform their financial futures. Empowering women, transforming communities. Together, we can make a difference. Join our Learn to Earn programs every Tuesday. Check our website. Welcome to African Women in Decentralized Finance Faucet. In Africa, women play a critical role in driving social progress. They not only manage households, but also contribute significantly to economic activities, often in informal sectors. Despite their invaluable contributions, over 60% of women remain unbanked, facing obstacles in accessing financial tools and resources. Women are the custodians of One Health, a concept that recognizes the interconnectedness of human, animal, and environmental health. For a baby to be born healthy, the mother's well-being is pivotal.
Hello everyone. Thank you for joining this our Learn to Earn session. This being the fifth cycle of session 1 of lesson 1. So thank you all for being here. Today we are privileged to have a guest speaker named Gloria Kavuya. Gloria will take us through self-care. So let me take you through the agenda for today. First, we'll have our topic presentation by our guest speaker, Gloria, and then after that, we'll have additional points and comment from our CEO, Dr. Masharia Waruingi. And then after Daktari, we'll have question and answer session. So feel free to ask question or if you have any additional comments. Yeah, and then after that, we'll have the summit announcement by Diana Mondi, and then I'll do the closing remarks. So allow me to welcome our guest speaker for today, Gloria Kavuya. Gloria, you are welcome. Hello, Gloria.
Hello, good evening. I
Good
hope everyone
evening.
is able to be listening.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm really privileged to be able to lead you people today for the topic on self-care. And I would first want to say that Gloria, as Dolphin had posted on the poster, I deal with matters to do with child protection, humanitarian work, and also advocating for the rights of the vulnerable groups in the community. So I felt it wise today to be able to speak on you people on self-care. Though I'll apologize, I do not have a screen to share with you people today, but I'll be able to do so in the next time if I happen to be a guest speaker for today. I hope that is okay with everyone.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, at first, probably I would want us to engage with self-care. When we hear the word self-care, what is it that comes into our mind? So it is going to be an interactive session whereby I'll be picking up questions and allowing members to be able to contribute, since it's a topic that I feel it is familiar with everyone. And despite our busy schedules and life going on, self-care is paramount for every human being and every person to be able to thrive well and function well in the society. So I'll begin with self-care. What does it tell you, or what does it come to your mind when you hear the word self-care? So probably one or two people can be able to respond, then I'll be able to take it up from there. Okay, anyone to be able to say just even like what is self-care, or you'll be able to do that after the session?
Maybe I can try. Maybe on my terms, self-care. I can relate it with personal hygiene, the way you groom yourself. Yeah, take care. Yeah, maybe that on my side.
It is okay, Dolphin. Through any other person that would want to try on how they resonate with self-care.
For me, I can say maybe taking care of your body and also your mental health, your physical health, your mental health, and also your spiritual health.
Thank you, Frida and Dolphin. Literally, that is self-care in general. It is taking care of both your physical, your mental health, your emotional, and also being able to take actions that are able to promote your well-being as a person. That is self-care. Being able to take care of your physical being, your mental health, your emotional health, and also being able to take actions that promote your well-being as a person. And for this, it applies in each and every part of our daily lives as we go on with our lives, both at work, at home, in the church, in our communities, how we relate with people. It is a part that we cannot be able to separate it from ourselves. We might be doing it, but you might not know that that is exactly what you're doing to be referred to as self-care. And as you had said that you can relate it with good hygiene, you can relate it with also eating healthy is also a part of self-care. Eating, even having a good hygiene, getting good sleep, and even being able to set boundaries, that is a part of self-care that I believe all of us, we should be trying in one area or another. And also, when we talk about self-care also, there are those misconceptions that we hear about self-care. If you happen to practice self-care activities, if you happen to practice self-care, that those things that those people can associate you to be very selfish or being self-indulged, being a self-indulged person. I don't know if anyone has ever experienced that in their own setting, but deep down, you're practicing self-care, like setting boundaries with people, being able to be mindful, being able also to be able to react in situations whereby you're able to be calm, and also being able to live with everyone and coexist with everyone in their own space. So up to there, probably I would also like that we engage by what are some of those benefits that we do get by self-care. And I believe everyone in their since we are all from different fields, I would welcome it to be open so that people can also share what is it that they practice in their own fields. I would welcome anyone to begin. Hey, anyone to share their daily or what it is like to have a self-care routine for them, and how have you been able to practice it in your area, in your field of expertise? Okay, I'll go on. Anyone will want to share? Okay, let me go on. Okay, as we also continue with this topic of self-care, probably I would want to welcome those who are still joining us on the topic of self-care. It is something that we all practice in our today lives, and we're just here to remind ourselves on how to be able to practice it and being able to take care of our well-being, including our mental health, emotional, physical, and also being able to balance the work in life, balance in our daily lives by ensuring that we all remain sane by doing most of these things. Okay, so the next step that I'll go to, it will be more practical. As I said, that I'll be engaging new people to be able to also share concerning self-care, since it's something that we all do it, but each and every person is able to do it in their own ways of practicing it. So for me, for instance, I would say, how can you be able to practice self-care as a person? One, I would say it's by being able to stay present, and also by being able to being able to sit in an environment that is peaceful is a way that I myself would practice self-care. And also being able just to listen to music also is part of self-care. And being able to do cleaning is also a part of self-care that I myself would practice it on my day-to-day life as a way of managing stress and being able to stay present. So I would welcome you all to contribute on that, how are able to deal with that. And I'll begin with Dolphin.
Okay, Gloria. On my part, how I practice self-care, like I usually set boundaries, I'll go a place where I am alone. Like I don't like to talk, yeah, to avoid stress, yeah. So that's how I practice self-care, and also maybe watching movies, yeah.
How are you able to deal with how are you practicing self-care in your day-to-day work and your activities?
Oh, okay, yeah. Listening, and also sharing some ideas, new ideas, yeah, and yeah, talking to new people, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Masharia.
All right, now that you called upon me. Yeah, self-care.
Yes,
There are two words there, self and care.
yes, yeah.
So self means your own being, is your own self, as myself. Myself usually is an individual. That self of mine has got four planes. Can you hear me? I think there are four planes. I think say there are four dimensions. Oh, someone is talking too loud. Is that?
Oh,
Oh,
sorry. I thank
could you mute
kindly
that
me.
first? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
just
And when I think about self-care, the self has got
Yes,
four dimensions. And the one
yes,
dimension is how you relate to you to what you how you relate to what you inspire to achieve,
yes.
which is called hope.
Mm,
That hope. And that's how I relate to what I inspire to achieve. It's in my vision, what I'm here for, what I'm doing. And that is a vertical dimension. That's what I call it, because it's vertical, about connecting with my higher self. Because the higher self, what I hope to achieve is not here right now, but it is here if I admit it to my consciousness that enters into my self-care. And then the other dimension is how I relate with my own professional self. That is myself in the world. How that's professionally, how I made my career. See? And then the third dimension is how I relate with others. And then I take all those three and how I relate with time as time is changing. Because the biggest challenge is that as I think about my career, it's advancing. As I think about how I relate with others, and it's advancing and changing. And even my own vision of the future, it seems to be changing with time. And it gets so many challenges in terms of that future coming, and it requires persistence and resilience. So if you look at the self-care now in those dimensions, the care itself, I have to care about my vertical dimension to remain authentic all the time. That what I say is what I do. Because I found that if I say things and then I don't do those things, I'm actually deceiving myself that things are going to happen, but I didn't do them. that is original. That's what you call, that is what I would categorize as spiritual care, because the spirit knows what you hope for. But then if I don't do those things that I hope for, and I'm hoping that they are going to manifest, I am lying to myself. I think that's the highest form of self-care we can achieve, and most difficult for many, many of us, including myself, that we can live in deception. Then the other self-care is also, my workplace is, what you call the work-life balance profession. That in order to advance in your profession, one also has to be authentic. That professional career or career development is very hard work. It takes hard work. For example, to pass exams, to achieve promotion in your office means that you have to be producing results. If I don't care about that, I'll be thinking that I'm not passing an exam because maybe the examiners don't like me. I think not. But if in terms of now advancement in career, promotion in the office, is that if I don't mind the the product of my work, I would think that people are passing me because the supervisor doesn't like me, but that has nothing to do with it. It's actually my own self dimension, which is the personal career advancement, how I am mindful of the results of my work, to not think that I can cut corners and get promotion. And you see, career life requires understanding detail. And a lot of us do not want to do any detailed work. They don't want to think through the details. They just want to get through. That is carelessness. Not caring about detail is carelessness. Now, then the other thing is about how you relate with others. Relating with others is actually much more important than even relating with myself. Because as I am thinking about work itself, I'm not doing the work for my own sake. See, I'm doing work for the sake of others, serving others. And I have to be authentic about it. That thinking that I'm doing work to please myself or to advance myself is also another deception. I'm doing work so I can be of service to others. That is self-care. And learning how to do that without getting distracted by all the noises in the world. You have so much negative noise coming in. Discerning that what is good about the relationship with others, and as we say, setting boundaries so that you admit into my consciousness only those things that matter to others. The things that don't matter, I don't care about them. So, but the hardest part is what's called persistence, the time dimension. That is how you move forward. And I think that's what is it takes patience. Now, I think the technology for that is called patience, because whether it's what is I hope to achieve, whether it's what I'm doing in my career, whether it's understanding others and working with others, that takes a boatload of patience. Patience, and that's why I think it is told that patience is the virtue. So care, self-care then, is about understanding, these virtues of patience, these virtues of being very focused, professionally, and the virtue of minding others, and the virtue of minding your spiritual sense. And that is, I think that's summarized in the Holy Bible, Holy Scriptures, as the two commandments, which is one is love the Lord your God, the vertical dimension, being authentic, and then love others. That's the third dimension, as you love yourself, second dimension, and then persist, be patient in those. Well, that is my summary of self and care. I think that's you can have a framework like that because it's actually already written in the Holy Scriptures. We don't have to look too hard to understand that. All we have to do is read, first of all, Matthew 5 on the Sermon on the Mount. All of it without without leaving a sentence up. Matthew 5, also Matthew 6 and Matthew 7. I think I could say it's a blueprint of self-care. Matthew 5, 6, and 7. Someone on the Mount. So that's what I think I take from this discussion.
Thank you, Masharia. You really put it well in self-care. And I would say I've also learned from it, from the different dimensions that you've been able to explain. And I believe each one and every one of us can relate to this in our everyday of life, looking at the self part and also looking at the care part. And also that fact of also, let's say, by being these virtues, as Masharia has put it, on being patient, being focused, and also being mindful of the other person. Self-care, I believe it is one of those areas that each and every one of us, as we go on in, even at workspaces, at home with our families, even with our children, how are we able to deal with this, especially when let's say you've had a very stressful day and you get back at home. How are you able to ensure that you are taking care of yourself, you're taking care of your family, you're able to do all these things round, and also by ensuring you're not also damaging the other person, because we know that if you're not able to take care of yourself, you'll experience burnout, and you'll start feeling feelings of resentment, you'll start being angry. I don't know if you've experienced that, but that is just a sign that your body is trying to tell you you need to slow down and be able to look at some of these things that you need. And I always advise my clients that when you realize that you're experiencing a burnout or you're tired, sometimes just take a break. It doesn't harm. Life gets busy many times, and we may want to up. We all have dreams. We all have achievements that we want to do. And also in these bars of life, as we all trying to achieve goals, as we also trying to look for other opportunities, we are also trying to make progress. You might reach at a point whereby you realize that all these, what is it for? But from our today's topic on self-care is to remind us that also be gentle on yourself as you do these things, and also as you want to achieve the goals that you want to do. And I like how Mashara has put it by the Bible. We are always reminded in the Bible that one verse that always gets me is Jeremiah 29:11 that says, "For I know the plans that I have for you." I believe also that can also be a part of self-care, because the Lord tells you that He knows each and everything that He wants you. He has plans for you to do, but it's us who get in the hurry to be able to achieve some of these things. But when you realize, like, no, let me take a sit back, let me re-strategize, let me think this project over again. Can I view this thing from this angle? And can I get this perspective from another person, from another colleague? I believe it also makes life easier for you and other people whom we stay with, and also by also being mindful of other people without causing them stress or causing them any feelings of either resentment, or either some may feel overlooked, or some may tell me to be selfish. But I believe that as we go on with this topic of self-care, it's just to remind us that as we go on with our daily activities, at work, at home, in whatever pursuits that we are all pursuing, it's that we should take a break and be able to retreat back a little bit and be able to do these things with care. And at times you might realize that, hey, this is too much for me, or I cannot. It's allowed also to seek help or also do therapy. I know most of us, when we talk about therapy, most of us, we imagine therapy is meant for other people and not us. But therapy is meant for everyone. It's a safe space whereby you're able to express yourself and you're able to say what is it that you are feeling, and you'll be able to get help, and it's part of self-care. So don't ever feel guilty that you're going for therapy, or it can be through your partner. I believe you can seek professional help. It can be through a friend, through a colleague, or it can also be through your spiritual person, since self-care is an all-round thing. So as I pause from here, probably I would want to welcome any person who can be able to share on how they are able to practice self-care and how are they doing it.
I think what I can add to the framework we started, which has got 4 dimensions, is that you have this vertical dimension about loving God as you love yourself, with your vision. That's what you say. Even Jeremiah says that. Is that don't try to solve the problems. Just leave the problems, and then you focus on just doing the work that you are doing. And that work is in the physical dimension. That is what's called the yourself as a person, as a human being, the physical space. In that physical space requires you to maintain the body in this physical world. And maintaining the body requires 3 things. Number 1 is good diet, of course. You cannot maintain the body without eating well. Eat vegetables. Of course, people don't want to eat vegetables because they are not delicious. Eat those carrots and that's what do, and spinach and sukuma wiki. And then, of course, add some proteins like meat, but make sure that you have enough of the vegetables and fruits and grains. That's from the diet perspective. The other thing, because if your diet is balanced, even your gut will be secreting the good hormones that actually regulate your blood sugar, and you're fine. That is self-care as an individual. Okay. And the other thing is exercise. Exercise helps you to stop the flow of thoughts, because on a continuous basis, when you sit down just alone without doing anything, or even thoughts are coming in a very big flow. It's like rapid fire. Every second you're thinking about something. That self-care involves being able to stop that flow of thoughts. Some people call it meditation. Yeah. Other people call it prayer. Other people call it what? Reflection. Whatever it is, getting to stop the flow of thoughts. That is very helpful, because when you stop the flow of thoughts, then you can gain access to your deeper self, the deeper self, or the inner self, or the inner man, as they're called in so many scriptures. And that is where the solutions lie. Instead of trying to solve problems, you find actually the solutions are already within you, if you can stop the flow of thought. Because what the flow of thought do is to distract you. And then you think that you have a problem that you solve, but there's no problem. Actually, the solution is that it's just within you, but you cannot gain access to it unless you reach that state of meditation. Now, meditation is not as complicated as it sounds. In other languages, they call it mindfulness. Mindfulness is when now you become aware of your inner self, the one who is in you. That one who is in you is far greater than the one who is in the world. That's what's written, John. To gain access to that, you need to stop the flow of thoughts. And I can say that simpler ways of stopping flow of thought is taking a jog, running. Just running out in a slow pace. It doesn't have to be running at high speed that stresses you, but just minding the steps when you're running outside. If you can't go outside, you can maybe run in your house on a treadmill, or maybe a machine that can help you run, or do some exercises like press-ups, push-ups, stretches, yoga. See, these kind of things helps you to stop the flow of thoughts. Even now, people who practice meditation, they are able to now pay attention to the bodily functions. Like all the way from the feet, coming up to the legs, up to the thighs, then to all the joints. You're feeling them, you're appreciating them. And when you're doing that, you're feeling these body parts, even going all the way to the chest, to the shoulders, even to the heads, even listening to your breathing, particular breathing exercises, they help you to stop the flow of thought. And see, that helps to restore the whole body system, the physical body, even in terms of metabolism. So that's part of self-care. So that's what see now. So we said there are three things: diet, exercise, and what? Now your relationship with others. Because every person that you're related, whether it's your child or your mother or your friends or your spouse, is a different person. And this person thinks differently from you. So because that person thinks differently, it is always annoying sometimes to think to hear what the person is saying, and then the person becomes like a source of annoyance. To self-care means that when somebody is saying something and you may think it's your mind is telling you that is quite nonsense, that's great nonsense, that's a lot of annoyance. Don't take it as annoyance. Don't even think about it. Just let them express themselves to you. See, that's what's called empathy. Love others as you love yourself. Okay, that's a divine commandment that is in all cultures. When you love others, then you're actually able to listen to people, putting yourself in their shoes, and let them express themselves to you. And when they're expressing themselves to you, you find that what was annoying you about them is not even annoying. There was nothing annoying about what they were saying. It is your mind that constructs the annoyance, your own mind. Because we are told that everything that is admitted to your consciousness becomes manifest by the light. So if you admit that this person is annoying to you, you are going to be annoyed. Not because the person is annoying, but because you are admitting the annoyance. So do not admit anything or anything. That means don't make any judgment. See, that is Matthew 7. Judge not, or you shall be judged. For whatsoever measures you meet, it is met against you. And then that measure is not met against you just lightly. It comes, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. That if you are thinking somebody is saying something negative to you, that negative thing is going to come back to you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. And that's what's going to stress you. Now, that is carelessness, judging others. So that when you judge others, now you are uncareful. You are not taking care of your mindfulness. Of course, that's not good. So to stop that, now we have said three things: eat well, balanced diet, so you feel good. Number two, take time for exercise every day, not once in a while, every single day. For example, for me, I've made myself a rule, and I call it the accountability rule. Accountability, that I have to go on the elliptical machine at least 1 hour every day. Come rain or shine, darkness or light, 1 hour every single day. And guess what? There's so many days I don't feel like doing it. Feeling. Remember, I said I don't feel like doing it. Now, feeling, you have to remove it out of the equation. It's not about the feeling, it's about doing. Even doing things you don't feel like. Because if you admit your feeling and you let your feeling rule you, then it means that I'm not going to go to that. I can actually postpone and say, oh, I can do this. I can maybe do only 2 minutes. Then maybe tomorrow I'll do 48 minutes, or maybe 58 minutes, to do the balance for two. And that's a lie. So do not allow any types of deception to come in. So what you do is every day for self-care. Now let's talk for practical reasons, so practical ways of self-care. Get a Google Calendar. Everyone who is here has got a Google Calendar on your Gmail. Google Calendar, enter the tasks of the day, the things that you must do in the morning when you wake up. Okay, for example, eat a balanced breakfast, which is full of vegetables and grains and things like that. Things healthy food. Let's call them superfoods. Superfoods include things like eggs, things like fruits such as let's say grains. Superfoods. All the superfood, the millets that you get in the village, the uji, the traditional uji is very good superfood. That food is called superfood because it comes with all the elements from vitamins, all the vitamin A, B, C, D, then all the B vitamins, they are there from B1 to B12, thiamine, everything. That is superfood. And it's found in things like the traditional food that we used to prepare in the village before we were given this processed food by the Europeans. So then you exercise, okay? Before you go to work, before you go and take a shower, of course, you have to take a shower to do your own personal hygiene. And then, of course, brush your teeth like a good child. And then when you're done with all those things, then so it takes about 2 hours. So don't jump out of bed and start running to work. Now that is bad manners. Okay. Your body is not going to be very nice to you. So you jump out of bed and start running to the bus because you slept so late because you are watching movies at night. No. What you do is you make time that the morning you start it slowly so that you have energy to work during the day. Because if you wake up and jump out and run out to work, you're going to find that you will be out of energy by 10 a.m. Then the rest of the day, you are not going to be very productive. See? So having a calendar, you put all the tasks that you're going to do during the day from the morning, and then use the calendar to organize, to schedule the things that you're going to do the whole day, hour by hour by hour. Okay? Then if you do that, you're going to find that the work that used to be so difficult to do becomes almost second nature. The things that look so difficult because everything has got its own time. Yeah. And you find that there was a lot of things that you were doing that were actually not even necessary. They were not necessary to do. And that is how now you can create boundaries. Let Google Calendar help you to build those boundaries. If something comes up but it's not on your Google Calendar, you know you're not doing it because it's not scheduled. So schedule your time. And that's then how you are able to persist. And then one important thing you want to know is that when you're doing all these things, you must believe in what you're doing. Believe. Because if you believe in what you're doing, you receive. You cannot receive anything. You cannot receive anything if you don't believe. Yeah. So you can be doing work and you find that your work is unproductive, but it's not just because you don't believe in what you're doing. And the only way you can do that is just take a deep breath, believe that everything you're doing is for great. And that's going to help you. Yeah. Then you see, you have to create time for everything, including the people in your life. Okay. That's what I would say. I would add to that, Gloria. Back to you. Hey, Gloria.
So, as to summarize up for today, and not to tire you all literally, it's just to self-care is really a broad topic and it talks of many things when it comes to self-care. It's in each and every field, literally. When we talk, we can't be able to escape it. So my reminder to all of us today is that let's ensure that let's begin by tonight. Also, by getting a good sleep is also a part of self-care. Do not go in your bed and you're scrolling on your phone. Then it's not good manners. But as part of self-care, as Mr. Masharia said, I would leave us with the following: that let us take care of our physical, our mental, and our emotional health. And this begins by doing those simpler things like by how do you get up in the morning? How are you able to begin your day? Do you take time to process the day or do you just begin your day? And also, how are you able to conceive information? How are you able to react to information? How are you able to deal with negative thoughts? All these go deal with self-care. Also, eating healthy is also a part of self-care, because when you are healthy, it means your body will be able to function well, and you'll have minimal stress, and probably you'll be producing those hormones that will be able to give you joy throughout. And also, I would also want to encourage us that let us also be mindful in each and every places of where we are, and also have a routine. They always say, let's try. It may not be easy for the first 2 days, but at least try to have a routine every day of how you're able to take care of yourself. Be it reading a book, is it jogging that you like to do, is it exercising, is it reading a magazine, just something that you love to do. Make sure that you're able to do that and be able to have a routine on that. And I believe that with that is what I'll be able to share with you people today, and probably continue this topic some other time. But for today, I would want us to just practice self-care for our own and for ourselves. Since when we do that, it means also those who are staying with us, or those whom we are able to work with them, we are able to coexist all of us well in those spaces, and also support them. Encourage someone to practice self-care, literally. Everyone needs that for themselves. So that is all for today, and back to you, Dolphin.
Okay, thank you, Gloria, for such an amazing topic, self-care. Yeah, I have learned a lot, and I believe everyone here have learned a lot. Yeah. So thank you so much for that wonderful topic. So I will call upon Dr. Macharia Waruingi. Doctor, do you have any remarks to add?
Hi, Dolphin. Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. We have talked a lot about self-care. The remarks would say that we continue. So I think that cycle, as Gloria has said, includes a full night's sleep. Don't sleep for 2 hours because you get caught up in what? In evening entertainment. There's television, there is social media on the phone, and then there's a lot of other things, distractions. Make sure you get the full 8 hours of sleep. That is self-care. Because why sleep is important? It is because it is during the sleep, when you're sleeping, that the body is repaired. The whole body. Yeah. And it's not just the body. Let's say you repair your legs, okay, where you're walking during the day. You see, when you're walking, you get some injuries, these tiny, tiny injuries that are happening in the knees. And then you need those to be repaired. They cannot be repaired when you're walking because the body does one function at one time. Then there are other things that you're repairing. Your heart was busy during the day, beating, pumping out the blood to circulate it to the entire system. And your intestines were busy digesting food, assimilating food. The liver was working. It's a huge factory over there. Everything was working. Even your eyes were working by seeing things. By the way, all these things you're doing, they expend energy. You see, even looking at something, you're actually expending certain amount of energy, because to see something means that you have to stimulate your sensory cells to recognize what you're seeing, and that is energy. So that energy production itself, see, the factory that's producing that energy relies on oxygen. So that oxygen gets, when you are using it on a continuous basis, sometimes it comes out, you emit certain oxygens that are not so good. They are known as oxygen radicals. Radical oxygen. That is, oxygen usually supposed to be two molecules together of oxygen. It's called O2. But then when it can combine 3 of them, you get 3 oxygens. That's a radical in oxygen. And that is dangerous because it burns tissues. It's like fire. So the tissues are on fire. So if you are up at night, it means that you are not actually cleaning out those free radicals. That's what they're called, free radicals. And you need to sleep. You need enough time to sleep for the body to cleanse itself. That is when during the night you have all those Whoopa Loompas. You know Whoopa Loompas? They're those guys who come with vacuum cleaners. Imagine they're coming in the vacuum cleaner, they're cleaning up your joints, vacuuming out all those free radicals. Then they get into your bloodstream and vacuum out everything. They get into the liver, everything. So by the time you wake up in the morning, you are refreshed. You feel so fresh. And that is the self-care of supreme importance. That is why everybody falls asleep, including King Solomon himself. Can you imagine if the king could sleep? Now, how about you? Even President Trump himself, the president of the United States, he falls asleep at night. So don't make it difficult for your own body by not sleeping because you're doing what, transnighting? And meanwhile, this time you're not even doing even in jobs. It is watching a movie so that you can feast. And then you say that the next morning you're going to go to work. Now, who are you lying to? Yeah, don't do that. Now, the ultimate thing is that the cleansing that occurs, or the cleaning, or the restoration, is the one that goes on in your brain. Now, if you don't allow your brain to restore because you did not get enough sleep, because you are too busy entertaining yourself, so you could not sleep enough. If you don't allow your brain to restore, then it starts secreting. First of all, the brain thinks that there's something dangerous about to happen. It starts anticipating doom. You see what the brain does when it's anticipating doom is to try to protect the whole body by secreting hormones that are supposed to be protective. You don't need those hormones. It's like you're always worried that your country is going to get invaded by some people out there. So you have so many soldiers out in the streets. And you see, what does that do? They scare everybody. Nobody is trying to attack your body, but because your body thinks that, your brain thinks that life is so bad out there, the sky is falling, it now gets into a state where let's call it a state of panic. Yeah. That's or a state of anxiety where things are bad. Things are so bad, impending doom, and that is what causes stress. So even when the next day you go to work, you find yourself you're angry with everybody. And it's only because you did not get enough sleep. Yeah, that is not good. And then of course, your blood pressure begins to rise, your blood sugar begins to rise, you lose control of everything. The body cannot control its blood sugar, cannot control its blood pressure. The kidneys gets affected and the body breaks down. So get enough sleep. So as a part of that Google calendar, you say sleep from 8 to 6 a.m. But most people say, I cannot sleep at 8. Okay, sleep at 9. If you're sleeping at 10, it's already too late. 10 p.m., should be fast asleep, counting the stars. Already you have completed one cycle. By the way, for good night's sleep, you need 4 full cycles of sleep. Every cycle lasts about 2 hours. Cycle 1, that is when you go into all the 4 types of waves, alpha, beta, all the way to delta waves. Theta, delta, alpha, beta, theta, delta waves. Those waves mean that the brain is going through different levels of restoration, and you get full restoration after a complete cycle. Even 1 hour of sleeping, you're only halfway, because one cycle takes about 2 hours. And so if you need 4 cycles to get full restoration, that is 8 hours of sleep. That's why you're told, get 8 hours of sleep. Drink enough fluids. Fluids does not mean just water. There's some people who don't like to drink water by itself. That's not a problem. There's a lot of fluid water in foods like fruits, juices, vegetables. that don't let anyone tell you that you must drink only pure water. In order for you to be healthy, you can drink the water with the fruit, but make sure that you're not drinking fruit juice that have got added sugar, simple sugar, not a good self-care. Okay, so you can take the fruits that taste sweet because fruits are sweet. And then there are certain fruits that have got a lot of benefits compared to others because they're superfoods. Fruits like watermelon. Watermelon has got a lot of water. It's like drinking a big jar of water by eating a watermelon. But watermelon comes not just with water, it comes with other things that are very, very good. Essential elements like magnesium. You need magnesium to complete, metabolic reaction, to complete those sophisticated reactions that are in for digesting your food properly. So the water in fruits, it comes loaded with essential nutrients, including water in coconut. It's coconut fruits. They call it madaf or something like that. So it's refreshing. Also, just drinking plain water is not a bad idea. But if plain water is not your thing, drink or water or get water that is in fruits and vegetables, particularly vegetables that are succulent, meaning that they are loaded with what? With water. So that way, self-care is for your own individual person, what we call the second dimension of life. That is loving yourself becomes very important. But as we have said in conclusion, there is no loving yourself if you don't love others. Love others as you love yourself. That means people in your immediate relation, even the people you do not know. That is why you're told, resist not evil. Do not resist evil. If you think something is evil, you are the one who is perceiving something as evil. Someone is saying that person is trying to express himself or herself to you, but then your mind can construct that expression as an evil thing. But then if your mind construct it, then you start fighting that person. First of all, the war begins mentally. And then when the war begins mentally, then becomes physical. Or maybe it never becomes physical, but then it destroys the relationship. That is why you're told, in Matthew 7, that it was written in the days of the old, thou shalt not murder, or thou shalt not kill. But very, very I say unto you, if you think bad thoughts about someone else, you have already committed murder. See, that is Jesus himself in the Sermon on the Mount. Just thinking bad thoughts about another person is equivalent to murder. You shall be judged. And you say, thou shalt not say raka to you. I don't even know what raka means, but I think that you get the idea that you thinking bad thoughts itself in a new covenant. It's not like the old days where Moses said, thou shalt not kill. That means killing a physical body. Now we're talking about thinking negative things about the other person. That is equals to murder. That's just how serious it is. So because that murder that you'll be committing, thinking about something else badly, you're not killing that person. What you're killing is the relationship or the benefit that you would get from a good relationship with that person. See, that is what's called carelessness. The benefit of the good relationship that you would have with that person, it dies. And when the benefit dies, then something has died. It's called a spiritual death. So, well, let us stop there because it's a very deep, serious conversation. That's why the Sermon on the Mount, in itself, it's the Sermon on the self-care. I think that's what we'd call it. Sermon on the self-care. We should have, it was written in 3 different chapters, 3 separate chapters. That's how detailed and important it is. But I think people, we struggle so much with self-care, and then that's why it causes all these fights fighting our own body. Our own body fights back when you're fighting, because you do not understand that everything we do or everything we think comes back to us. You see, because it's almost as if we don't know that whatever we are thinking it just reflects back upon us in a boomerang effect. All right. So I would say that's what I would like to add about that. And I would just encourage everybody, if self-care has now become very, very clear to you, read the Sermon on the Mount in Matthew. I think that a lot of people here know the Christian Bible. I'm not asking you to convert to Christianity. I'm asking you to read Matthew 7, because this is text that's available for everybody. It's open, it's universally accessible. And so Matthew 7 from the Beatitudes, you understand. If they don't make sense to you, you can ask, they can discuss later. Matthew 6, which is talking about thinking evil things about others, resist not evil. And Matthew 7, judgmental, judging others. It says, resist not evil in Matthew 6. And then you go to Matthew 7, then you're told that do not judge others, because you're judged by the same measure, not by anybody else, but by yourself. It actually comes back to you. Yeah. So if you want self-care, judge not, or you shall be judged. And think righteous judgment. If you're going to judge things, you have to judge the right thing. And so to create in Matthew 7, how it helps you understand how to create boundaries. He said, do not cast your pearls to swines, nor throw what is holy to the dogs. Now it's up to you to interpret that. Do not cast what is holy to swines, because we said, for they shall trample on your pearls and then turn around and tear you down. Yeah, so that is called the law of discernment. Discerning is what you use for creating boundaries. To discern is to figure out which person is likely to receive the message that I'm communicating. We're talking in respect to self-care, which person is likely to receive the message positively and which person is not likely. Now, there are people, no matter how good you are to them, they are going to be negative to you. Do not cast your pearls to swines. Do not even give what is holy to dogs. Because dogs, I think he was not talking about these house pets we keep nowadays, we love so much. He was talking about the mongrels, which are going to tear down. Actually, what he said, you're going to eat it and vomit it back to you. So that is discernment. That's how now do you tell when you're judging and when you're discerning? How do you tell the difference? Because you have to be careful. You could be thinking that you're a very discerning person, but then you're very judgmental. And that is destructive if you cannot discern. But there are people you can understand who are misaligned and they have bad policies and they want to impose them on you. Don't judge them, but just don't take what they're saying. That's why create a boundary. Says, oh, this is not for me. You see, that's complete nonsense. I don't share with that. That means you don't have to do everything. Like somebody told you that, listen, let's go out and drink beer the whole night and then tomorrow morning is a work day. See? Then you have to be discerning and say, you want to make this your friend happy by being with them. The person can tell you, oh, I need company. Just let us go. It's going to take only this tonight. Just tell them, listen, the night is made for sleeping. and that's that. That's called discerning. Find those people who are trying to discern those people who are trying to get you to do the bad things and the wrong things so that you can prove yourself, you can prove something. And then let them go, let them be. And in fact, if you say no to such people, they don't ask you again because they know that they were trying. And if they try too hard to do it, just tell them what was no is no and remains no. So you can discern so that you can stay on the safe side of life. And so really, discernment is a very, very serious issue because there's something that got peer pressure. You see, for young people, they fall into problems because they're trying to emulate their peers. And that comes when somebody tries to create self-doubt. Self-doubt in you means that, and that's the whole problem with human beings. They want to challenge your self-care, that self of yours. They want to challenge it. They want to challenge you. So you feel like you're not good enough of what you're doing. You have to detect them like a detective. Detects people who are trying to challenge your self-esteem, because self-care means that you understand your self-esteem. You esteem yourself. Now, particularly people with low self-esteem, they try to ridicule you so you can feel bad about yourself to be like them. People with, I want to repeat that, people with low self-esteem want to ridicule you so that you can be like them. You can have low self-esteem, because that's why it's written that misery loves company. These people with low self-esteem are miserable. And then when such people who have got low self-esteem, they try to behave as if they have high self-esteem. They are pompous, called pseudo self-esteem. Pseudo self-esteem. So the way to detect a person with pseudo self-esteem who is trying to ridicule you, they are always saying negative things to you. What you're doing, they're trying to pull you down, and you can detect it because when you tell them something good, they have something negative to say about what you've just said. Now, resist not evil. That's rule number 1 in Matthew 7. Resist not evil. Because when he says something negative, you agree with them because you said, turn the right cheek, or maybe if he tells you to go a mile, go with him too. And what it means is that if that person comes and tells you something negative, something horrible about what you're saying, you are very excited about you have just managed to accomplish, and this person is watering it down or throwing a cold blanket or watering down to what you're so to make you feel bad about it. Just agree with them, tell them, oh, that is really bad, but okay. So that you don't have to fight it or resist it. You just let it pass. Let it pass. Because you know there is nothing wrong with what you've done. So do not look for what would you say, for the self-esteem, to boost your self-esteem from the other person, because this person already has low self-esteem and he wants to ridicule you so that your self-esteem can go down at the same level as that person. So all you can do is forgive that person, for he knows not what he is saying. Okay, that's why you say, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they say. That's the lesson there. Do not take it seriously. Don't even take it to heart. Just say, okay, that person doesn't like what I'm doing. Forgive him. But that doesn't mean, and then don't insist. Do not insist that you're right. Because, by the way, there's no right or wrong. If you insist, then it becomes an escalation, and then you start fighting. That is what loving others is all about. Love others, that when person comes the very negative remark about what you're saying, don't fight it, just forgive them, for they know not what you're saying. You know that you have made this accomplishment, or you have this vision for yourself, and you have this plan that you're going to implement, and you know it as yourself. The one in you knows it. That's the one that your vision. So do not let anyone throw cold water on your vision, and then you start fighting with that person. Because to fight it, it means that now you acknowledge that your vision was not good. And then you cast doubt on your own vision. That's what the problem is. To fight it means that you acknowledge that your vision was not right, and then you start fighting to defend the vision, and that's not a good idea. So the good idea is to forgive that person, And you say, okay, now I understand. Because you can understand what this person is not understanding what you're saying, and is throwing cold water on your vision so that you can feel like you do not know what you're doing. But it is actually them who do not understand what you are saying. It's that person who does not understand. So you cannot fight that person. You cannot even get angry with such a person because it's pointless. All you can do is be happy and forgive them. And you find that that is self-care of the highest order. That's why I'm saying this whole thing is described in Matthew 7. Self-care of the highest order is to forgive people on a continuous basis. Then remember, I think just following in that text, they say, how many times do you have to forgive people? 70 times 7. See, that is 499 times, something like that. So that is what it is about. If you get there, and this helps you to understand that second dimension, it's called love others. Loving others is forgiving the people who are saying such bad things or negative things or throwing cold water on your vision and telling you can't do that. They are talking about themselves. They're not talking about you. When someone says you can't do that, you say, I cannot do that. But that's them. You know that you are doing it. It's not that you cannot do it, can't do it. You're already doing it. Okay? And you see, that way, nobody can actually throw cold water on your vision because you're not going to allow that. That's what discernment is all about. Do not cast your pearls to the dogs, to the swines, because what they do, they shall trample upon them, then turn around and tear you down. Get that? So do not, that is self-care number one, very highest order. And it helps you to understand that second commandment, love yourself, love others as you love yourself. So it's not a contradiction. It's not that you're judging the person, it's that you do not want them to throw their cold water onto your vision. That means that don't cast your pearls to the swine. Don't even give what is holy to the dog. What is holy? What is holy? What is holy is the vision of the future, your vision, what you aspire to be. Yes? As we said, that vision is, you know it by faith. Because somebody can ask you, show me where this thing worked. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. It is the evidence of things not seen. If somebody is telling you, show me, that person is looking for evidence with the 5 senses where they can touch and feel it. Because somebody can tell you, show me this thing of yours is saying, hey, I cannot touch it. It's not even tangible. You don't worry about them. Don't try to make it tangible. Okay? Don't try to prove it. It's not your job to prove it because your vision is absolute, is in you, and that is you. So somebody who wants to see, then it's somebody who cannot believe until he sees. And remember, it was written, lucky are those who believe, but they have not seen. Lucky are those, the blessed, let's say, blessed are those. Blessed is you when you believe and you have not seen. So somebody who has to see something in order to believe it, forgive them, forgive that person. Okay? Because the thing that is not seen is your desire, your hope, something you hope for. You have no evidence of it from your physical senses, but you have evidence of it by what? By a technology called faith. And now, brothers and sisters, faith is the substance of things not seen, the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And everything that has ever been created, everything that becomes seen, comes from things that are not seen. Nobody has ever created something new from things that was seen before. And so I can tell you, what you desire to happen will be coming from things that are not seen. So anybody who's expecting to see what is not seen, then what can you say about such a person? You can only say, forgive you, my friend. You don't even have to worry about, don't tell them that. Don't tell them that you've forgiven, but just forgive them, because this is a person who is trying to see something hoped for with the eyes. The eyes have no capability of seeing that. That the technology that you need to see for that is called faith. So that's what I would like to add about that, Dolphin. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Glory, for bringing us this important topic of self-care. And I think it's a very, very profound topic. And a lot of people don't understand it. And they do not actually understand that the Holy Scriptures, which are there, which people learn from Sunday school as little kids, all the way to adulthood, is described in the Holy Scriptures, all the way from the Old Testament, as you said in Jeremiah. So that is what is, I think that's what self-care is all about. And thank you so much, Glory, again. And back to you, Dolphin.
Okay, thank you, Dr. for those remarks. So meanwhile, I welcome any question or remarks. If you have any remarks or question, yeah, I can see Salome has posted. Also, reading books and talking with friends can be part of self-care. Yeah, that's true, Salome. Yeah, reading books and also talking to friends.
It's true.
So yeah, no question or any remarks. Yeah, I'll just remind you to continue registering for our summit. Yeah, December is around the corner, and also remember there is a free pass. So I know most of you have Actuate tokens. So yeah, get those liquidity pools because you'll not be able to enter without the NFT numbers. So yeah, kindly register. Yeah, we have so many people who will be joining us, companies. Yeah, so register. I will share the link to the form, to the attendance form. Remember, this is a Learn-to-Earn where you are being awarded Actuate token by participating in our Learn-to-Earn program. So I'd like to thank Glory for this amazing session. Yeah, I personally, I really enjoyed today's topic. Yeah, and also I learned a lot. So thank you so much, Glory. And I would also like to thank our CEO for his remarks and also knowledge regarding the scripture. Yeah, at least today I've seen that Sermon on the Mountain relate to the self-care, because they have taken a brief look at the Sermon on the Mountain. So thank you, Dr. once again for your knowledge and also taking time to be at this meeting. And I would also like to thank each one and every of you for attending this session. So kindly, I'll give you 5 minutes to fill the form. Yeah, Doctor, if you have anything to add before I adjourn the meeting.
The only thing I can add is, as everyone create those liquidity pools, get NFT number. This summit is very, very exciting. As we know, I'm saying it's exciting as if it's happening. It's actually happening already, okay? Because we have lots of people already knowing one another. And if you haven't known people in the summit, so I think you need to look for them in a group. It's a WhatsApp group, and there's quite a number of WhatsApp groups that are there. So there's a lot of conversation out there. And what we have discovered, even as we are planning the summit, is the amount of talent. If talent can be quantified in kilograms, it's thousands of kilos. There are tons and tons of talents. Yeah, I think that's a good word to say. Tons of talents among our people. That talent, it needs to be harnessed. And what we are talking about is the summit itself becomes the place where we harness that talent. Talent is harnessed by financial innovation. You cannot harness talent without money. Don't let anyone tell you that. So talent, we're talking about talent in computer science in Kenya alone. Now I think we're equivalent in computer science talent as a place like South Korea. But still, we are not making Samsung telephones. But I believe if we figure out financial talent itself, then South Korea is going to be our dear friends. We are going to be equal if we don't surpass them. So then there's talent in medicine, talent in understanding artificial intelligence, talent in understanding food, science, technologies, and so many, including nuclear energy and things like that. You could say super concentration of high density talent. You want to be at that party so that that talent may percolate even into yourself. That you become among them who are very talented. I know you're also very talented. But the key, what we are asking ourselves is that how do we harness that talent? And harnessing anything requires financial innovation. And so the financial innovation we're talking about is decentralized finance. That this talent is distributed widely over there, is randomly distributed. It's everywhere in the entire community. Women, men, young, you could call them young people, the young generation, super talented, coming up with so many different ideas. But how do we harness that talent for the good? Because if that talent is not harnessed, it goes into the bad side of life. And so that's the duty. And so this is why the summit is going to be a very, very huge festival of talents, because we are coming to celebrate our talents. And we can see the products and services that our people are creating on a daily basis, but they are not finding their way into the markets. See, they cannot find their way into the supermarket shelves. Why? Because we have not had a system that allows such talent to flow from the minds of men and women into the supermarket shelves. That highway that allows talent to move from the minds of men and women, but then all the way into the supermarket shelves, is what is called the Actuate token itself. See that? The Actuate token is going to be doing that work. And that's what we want to understand in the summit in December. How do we use Actuate token, or let's say decentralized finance, to create products and services that will improve human life? Yeah. Okay. So I would say that I think even for me, the response itself is mind-blowing. Yeah. I say mind-blowing, but I still have my mind. But my mind was almost blown off because we have so many people coming in from different universities, including now University of Nairobi. The College of Architecture is coming to help implement biomedical industrial city. Oh my goodness. Biomedical industrial city in Kenya. That's really serious. And this project now, Dolphin, you can share that project for the biomedical industrial city in African women in decentralized finance. Really, really serious work, which we did together in Texas A&M. And now we're now ready to put it on the ground in Kenya somewhere on a nice piece of land. So it's looking for a landing pad. It's coming from the high heaven to touch down on the ground, just like the New Jerusalem that was descending down in the new earth. So the Biomed City is looking for a landing spot, and it's actually found a landing spot through the University of Nairobi College of Architecture. That is the latest update. So the Minister of Land, the CS Lands, we have invited her to come and officiate that process, that landing process. She's going to be speaking on December 5. That is day 3 of the summit. Together now, we see what this has done. That landing process, when you have the Ministry of Lands, who is now going to officially receive this large space, large capital project, which requires thousands of acres of land. Is going to be with there with the EPC, engineering, procurement, construction partners, who is a Portuguese company by the name of Elevo Group, plus our architects known as Daniel Kimingi, and financing partners. That includes the World Bank's own International Finance Corporation. So it's really serious business. So what was starting over is what is just a summit to get us to talk now become very serious business that is landing a whole biomedical city into the country. But with that biomedical city in its full flower will be the epicenter of translation of knowledge, let's say, across the board. But with the main focus in biomedical knowledge, we can now make our own medicines in Africa. Being an epicenter means that we don't have any other such place anywhere in the sub-Saharan Africa. So that is the one and only. And it's gonna draw a lot of interest internationally, such that we have the premier place for medical tourism. You know, with Kenya now prides itself for being a tourist nation. Instead of now people just coming to see animals, they come to receive medical care in Kenya. See, that is what. And so Kenya can do that. We are able to achieve that level of excellence. And besides that, we export medical knowledge in form of medical equipment, medical services, medical technologies like biologics and pharmaceuticals, because it will be the epicenter for manufacturing. And that is what we're working for very, very hard. That is what is going to be unveiled at the summit. So that's an event you do not want to miss, because that's a once, it unveils only once. And then after that, it is already well known. So Dolphin, you can post that video you can even post it here if you can find it, but then also in African Women Decentralized Finance. Okay, that's Biomed City. And of course, this you could say it's the main people say meat and potatoes. What's the meat and potatoes of the stomach? Yeah. It's not just the gravy soup or even the icing on the cake. It's the meat and the potatoes of but in our African language, you could say it's the ugali aspect of it. All right. So let us back to you, Dolphin.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. Yeah, I think the meeting is adjourned. You have posted the link both on African Women in DeFi and also here. I kindly have a look at the video. Yeah, the meeting is adjourned.
All right, thank you.